everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. With me is Regina Faticanti.
Good morning.
Former politician, present corrections officer.
I would say corrections professional.
Professional, okay. And you're
Thank
a
you.
professor, right?
Yes, I am a professor.
Wow.
And I because of the snow, I have actually not face-to-face met one of my classes yet.
Was that right?
Yeah, this one class is, we meet just once a week, and we were supposed to meet that Monday, and we have not met yet. And so now, we're going to have maybe a threat of some more snow Sunday into Monday again. So I'm going to send my students.
No, there's not going to be snow.
I hope not.
North here.
I hope not. So I'm hoping. So I'm going to send my students. I have the ability to send them a notice that says, "Hey, get chapter 1 done, and watch the video." And you know what video it is, Cliff? It's High on Crack Street. Remember the video that a gentleman from Lowell, I'll only use his first name, Rick, did about the city and its drug problem. It came out in 1995. It says relevant today in 2026 as it was when he filmed it then. So I asked students to watch it, and the question they have to ask themselves is, because it's sociology, how did this happen to these 4 people? What went wrong? And we discussed that throughout the semester. And it's a very tough film to watch, because you watch 4 people whose lives devolve, and it's difficult. It's difficult. It's a difficult film to watch because you see 4 people who just fall apart.
Yes, I was just actually speaking of that. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, good morning,
I was speaking
Eileen.
of that movie the other day.
You're kidding.
Yeah, because there was a car coming down my street, and I was like, that looks like one of the cars that was in High on Crack Street. But can you also ask your friends how they feel about Boo Boo?
So Boo Boo is gone now.
Oh.
So Boo Boo. So I'm going to say this to you. So Boo Boo is Boo Boo spent some time as a guest up at the sheriff's department in Billerica, and I'll tell you something funny, Eileen. Boo Boo kept saying to the nurses, "Hey, I'm a big movie star, and if you help break me out, we'll go to California, to Hollywood, because I'm a big movie star." Now, Boo Boo didn't realize, we all know who you are, Boo Boo. We all know who you are. But I will say this, when Boo Boo got sick and he ended up going into a nursing home and he was getting ready to pass, a lot of people from the city, a lot of politicians, a lot of folks from the city actually paid their respects to Boo Boo. And I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was really incredibly respectful of them, because Boo Boo did a lot of bad things to a lot of people. And but a lot of folks came to visit him, to say goodbye, because who didn't know who Boo Boo was, right? Because Boo Boo was famous. Okay, but for not good reasons.
And he could be a hero at some point, but then he always seemed to get sucked back in.
That's right, unfortunately.
So that was Eileen Delrossi, school committee member, co-host, half on the phone and half in person. And of course we have our producer, John McDonough. So.
We won't be all on the phone if I continue to not be able to find my keys.
I had
outside 2 below 0. Yeah, 2 below 0, and windy as can be. So
Yes.
you need to drive little Eileen and little Regina to school today. No bus stops for the kids today. It's just
bundle them up and make them
Too
learn
cold.
about life.
too cold.
So I have
bring them to
empathize
Cliff's
with
house.
you, Eileen, about the keys, because as I was getting ready to go out the door, I couldn't find my keys.
Well, yeah, the moon in Mercury retrograde or something, or I don't know. I always put them in the same place.
Well, that's what I thought. But then I thought about when it was the last time I saw them, and I went to the back door and opened it, and there were my keys.
I've done that
I
too.
already did that trick.
I've done that too.
I did that one, but I was also in a friend's car yesterday, and I'm starting to think they fell out of my car, out of my purse.
Oh, no.
Jacket.
Oh.
Yeah.
But were you able to get into the house? So did you use the keys to get into the house?
Usually, I leave it unlocked, just in case, like any of my siblings need to get in for my mom or anything. So, like if I'm out, it's always usually open. So I did check the front door, but it's not in there. But I checked the back door, actually.
Moving right along.
The producer is not enjoying himself as much as he might.
I don't think the
Having
audience
given
really
you
cares.
half of the weather report, it's going to get all the way up to 13 today
Ooh.
and be sunny. Now, Regina brought up the question of snow this weekend. It's supposed to be down in Cape of the Islands, South Shore, Boston, but we're supposed to get off pretty easy. And I'm hoping they're right, but they are weathermen.
Right.
Yeah, they're calling it a cyclone burst or a
Bomb
weather
cyclone.
cyclone?
Bomb cyclone.
Bomb cyclone. I've never heard that term.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, not nice. So the national debt, in case you were worried, was up to 38.667 trillion yesterday. It's always going up. This is an interesting fact. I think it probably applies to the producer more than the rest of us in his daily occupation as undertaker. In 1661, and just a second. Good morning. What does he say? I had a text message. Hang in there, Eileen.
Text.
Hey, I'm going to go be principal for the day at the Butler School this morning at 9 o'clock.
Nice.
If I can find my keys.
Yeah. So, Oliver Cromwell, this is after the Pilgrims had landed and Massachusetts had become a colony. Oliver Cromwell, Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, is ritually executed more than 2 years after his death. On the 12th anniversary of the execution of the monarch, he himself deposed. John, have you ever dug anybody up so they could be ritually executed?
No.
No.
How can you execute a dead person? Only the government can do that. Only the government has that kind of money.
Thank you.
They must have been mad at Oliver.
I guess so.
What is it called? Retroly executed?
Yeah, ritually executed. It was a ritual execution. He was already dead.
She's got to mute her phone. I can hear a TV in the background.
Yeah, I just got it. Sorry about that.
In 1835, the first assassination attempt against the President of the United States. Richard Lawrence attempts to shoot President Andrew Jackson, but fails. It is subdued by a crowd including several congressmen as well as Jackson himself. In 1862, in the American Civil War, the first American ironclad warship, the USS Monitor, was launched. It would later go on to fight the Merrimack. which had been seized by the Confederates and renamed the Virginia.
And it is rumored the turret for the American boat was made in Lowell.
Entirely possible. They did a good job. In 1920, the Japanese car maker Mazda was founded, initially as a cork-producing company. In 1930, the Politburo of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union orders the confiscation of lands belonging to the kulaks in a campaign of dekulakization, resulting in the executions and forced deportations of millions. The kulaks were the middle class.
So why did they deport the middle class?
Because they are communists.
Ah,
And the middle class was a problem.
because they were educated?
Yeah,
Okay,
better
Because-
educated.
right, so we know that people, communists don't like educated people because they can read and they can refute what the communists are saying. Is that correct?
That's true.
Okay,
On this day in 1933, Adolf Hitler takes office as the Chancellor of Germany. In 1939, during a speech in the Reichstag, Adolf Hitler makes a prediction about the end of the Jewish race in Europe if another world war were to occur.
can I ask a question, Cliff?
Sure.
Why that particular race? Of any on the earth, why that particular race did he select?
Because they're a race that had been persecuted for thousands of years, and so it just fell in line.
Okay,
On the other hand, they are God's chosen people, and he may have not liked that.
okay. And they were educated people.
No, I think it goes back to his father was mean to him and his father was a Jew, so he was ticked off at the Jews.
And his father was not in his life. Is that correct, John? Am I correct in saying that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yes, you are correct.
That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so I am correct in saying that his father got mom pregnant and then said, see you later. Okay, and so as a result, he had this negative disposition towards people who were Jewish. Okay,
That his father's Jewish, I don't think I'd heard that before. I'll check it out.
That's just my take.
okay. Thank you for the education here.
And Cliff, there's plenty of stories about Hitler. But his root for hatred of Jews came from his birth family.
Okay.
Okay,
1945, during World War II, the raid on Cabanatuan, 126 American Rangers and Filipino resistance fighters liberated over 500 Allied prisoners of war from Japanese-controlled POW camp. It was a big operation, southeast by east from Manila. In 1968, the Tet Offensive was launched by forces of the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese armies against South Vietnam, the U.S. and allies.
so I'm wearing a bracelet from a guy from Worcester. And it's from 1966, when we weren't supposed to be over in Vietnam. And he
Wait, we were.
was in Laos.
Oh.
And this family is from Worcester. Senior Master Sergeant, and he was taken prisoner because he refused to leave behind his wounded. He radioed that he had wounded, and he was told to leave them behind, and he said no. And he radioed again, I need a copter. No, leave behind your wounded. He said no. So he said, I'm going to destroy my radio because capture is imminent. So Senior Master Sergeant Russell Peter Bott. And he was last seen being taken by the VC, but This was Laos in 1966. And that was the last time he was seen,
When in 1966?
December 2nd, 1966.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was there at that time. I was in Vietnam flying missions in Laos.
Okay.
So, in 1969, the Beatles' last public performance on the roof of Apple Records in London. On this date, the impromptu concert was broken up by the police, of course. In 1972, in Northern Ireland, Bloody Sunday, British paratroopers opened fire on anti-internment marchers in Derry, Northern Ireland, killing 13 people. Another person later died of injuries. And on this date in 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 pandemic to be a public health emergency of international concern.
Can we talk about COVID?
I thought we'd talk about who and the fact we dropped out. But yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead, talk about COVID.
So, what are your thoughts about COVID?
My thoughts are that we underreacted initially and then overreacted.
My thoughts exactly. I remember when the governor said, "Oh, this was going to be a 2 weeks and then it's over," but 2 weeks extended for 2 years, and I as a college professor, I still see the negative ramification of how students were set home and had no socialization and had no development of social skills and now we're trying to pick that back up and you can't retro teach those things. I have never, one time in my 23-year career, have I ever had to refer someone to get some assistance, some emergency assistance. And I won't explain why, but during COVID, I had to refer 3 students because I was truly fearful of what was happening with them. I think that we did a terrible disservice to young people. Terrible disservice.
Yeah, I think the current 7th and 6th graders are most disturbed, but it sounds like the ones that you're seeing in college now are the ones that missed like the middle school years where they learn to like even be a person and socialize.
Thank you. Learn to be a person is a perfect statement. This whole thing with mask wearing and the 6 feet, Fauci admitted that, I made up the number. We had to have a number. We talked about 10 feet. We talked about 3 feet. We decided, why don't we make it 6 feet? There was no real basis for that number.
So you say.
So he said.
So you say.
But he came out and said that, John.
Wonderful.
Do you think there's a basis for the number, John?
Yes.
What is it?
The germs from your mouth drop to the ground just as quickly as you drop the marble from here. That's a fact. People don't like that, but that's as fast as gravity goes. If you sneeze, it's going to go further than 6 feet. If you're breathing by 6 feet, that whatever breath you have is on the ground.
Okay.
It's a fact.
You notice the way you backed that one in? That was good.
Well, I took microbiology.
Harvard.
Water droplets don't lie.
Yeah.
Gravity doesn't lie. A
So,
lot of misinformation out there. She used to work at WCAP. Misinformation.
I remember you said that. Yes, misinformation worked at WCAP. But when Fauci was, I did see an an interview with Fauci, and he did say that. So I'm not making that up.
And
I just think that we did a big disservice to people.
letting
Okay,
the hospital staff wear surgical masks when they didn't offer any protection was criminal.
Say that to me again, I'm sorry, John.
I'm not gonna say it again. Thank
So why did surgical people, why do people in surgery wear masks? I agree, you need to stop the germs from traveling.
yeah, but the surgical mask doesn't do it with COVID.
No. Because what you're wearing during surgery is far more, the protective gear is far more intense than just that little piece of mask that you're wearing. The N95 mask that you're wearing, it's during surgery.
The KN95 mask is the mask to wear against COVID. The surgery mask gives you no protection from COVID. That's a fact.
Okay,
I don't care what Fauci said.
okay.
Thanks.
Today, in 1882's birthday of Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945,
Okay.
before the end of World War II. 1912, Barbara Tuchman was born. She wrote The Guns of August, which forms most of our opinions about World War I. 1915, here's a test for you. John Profumo.
Don't know him.
Christine Keeler.
Don't know her.
John Profumo was a Secretary of State for War in England, and he got caught out
Oh, go ahead.
with Christine Keeler,
It's coming to me.
and who was also having sex with
Yes.
the Russian attaché.
Yes. Yes.
So that didn't go well
No,
for
it did not go
Profumo.
well. See, now coming back to, because there was a movie made about this, wasn't there? The Profumo affair?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm sure
okay.
there was.
Yes, all right.
All right, 1941, Dick Cheney was born, Vice President. 1972, Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House today. Passed away in 1836, Betsy Ross.
Allegedly sewed our flag.
Yep. So she's a hero to me. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated on this day in 1948. Indian independence movement leader.
Why are people afraid of those who are trying to make good changes in society? JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. Why do you think people go after those individuals?
Change. They
They're
don't
afraid
like
of
change.
change.
Afraid of change. Or what change might do to them.
Okay?
In 1948, also, Orville Wright died. So, and today, in 1951, Ferdinand Porsche passed away.
Nice little car.
Nice little car.
Nice little car.
And today is Fred Korematsu Day in a number of states, including California, of course. Fred Korematsu was a Japanese American who sued the federal government over the internment policy at the beginning of World War II.
And what was our reason for interning Japanese Americans?
They were worried about sabotage. Now, here's the interesting thing.
Okay?
There are a bunch of Japanese Americans in Hawaii.
Yes, there were.
No internment.
Because there had been thousands of Japanese Americans in Hawaii for a number of years.
Yeah.
And so, and they had been invested in the economy for a number of years. And I think people saw Japanese Americans as one and the same with them in their economy. So, of course, no internment camp. But the minute you left Hawaii, Japanese Americans were not seen as part of the fabric of the community.
Right. But it wasn't just Japanese Americans that were interned. There were not a large number, but a few Italian Americans and a few German Americans.
Yes.
So,
70 years ago, 75 years ago.
uh, 80, yeah.
Moving right along.
They were, the Congress gave them compensation for that. So,
As they should.
I'm sure this was covered by the Thursday crew, but I think the hot topic is the fact that Coach Bill Belichick was not voted into the National Football League Hall of Fame on his first opportunity.
And why do you think the reason for that is? The girlfriend or the cheating?
I would, you think they're jealous of his girlfriend?
No. No, I'm just kidding about the
You can say the
girlfriend.
same of JFK.
Pardon me, John?
You can say the same for JFK.
What's that?
Yeah, the girlfriend. Yeah, okay.
Depends on whether you like a guy or whether you're going to give him a tattoo for cheating on his wife.
Yeah. You're right. I think the cheating scandal has to be forgotten about a little bit.
After the cheating scandal, the next season, didn't he win all the games?
Yes, he did. So it shows that he didn't need the cheating. He didn't need to cheat.
Yeah.
He didn't absolutely need to cheat.
Read these when you can, Regina.
Thank you. First text. I'm surprised the kiddos have school today considering how cold it is. Are we tearing away the bubble wrap and toughening up these little softballs? Question mark. COVID, next text. COVID was a controlled operation. You only needed the media to spread the fear without any real journalism. The public ate up the narrative like an ice cream cone from Gary's, and that's from Bart. The next text. Good morning. Remember, if you worked for the government, you got paid during COVID, and the self-employed had to beg the government to get paid, and that's from Jay. The next text. You could remote learn during COVID, but during a snowstorm, the schools can't remote learn. Why? Good question, Jay. If COVID was so bad, then why didn't it wipe out the homeless population? I'm pretty sure they live a different lifestyle than the majority of us. Good question.
Eileen?
I think Eileen might be on her way over here.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
well, I still have not found my keys, so I'm waiting to hear back from my friend whose car I was in yesterday. I'm organizing it. Anthony, my son's turning 13 tomorrow, and I'm picking up his friends from school today. And so I was just texting some of the parents, sure they had all my information, and he's going to celebrate at his dad's house because he's too cool for mom now.
Oh. Okay.
For the week. But what were you talking about? I'm sorry.
Somebody said that remote learning was okay for COVID, but not for this winter storm.
See, I don't think remote learning is ever good because I think when it comes to learning, you have to be completely present. I mean, what COVID did teach us that it was a skill that a lot of kids that had trouble in school like persevered with, but I think I would have a lot of difficulty learning remotely myself, and I even taught for a small amount of time at a virtual school, and I couldn't like buy into like the schedule and being there for that time. Just wasn't real enough to me. But there are certain schools in Massachusetts that are all virtual now or hybrid.
Are these public or private?
Both.
Yeah, you're right, Regina.
So I'm going to teach, in the summer, I'm going to teach a hybrid class. So you'll only be in the class with me about an hour and 15 minutes, and you'll do the rest of your work on your own. I have taught classes where everything is online, and so you do your work, and I grade it, and I give so that I have contact with my students. Every week I have a discussion question that they must respond to, and I respond to every single student, and I give every single student feedback, and I require students to communicate with each other online so that they have conversation with each other, because some people work late night shifts, and then they come home and they get online. So people have it's not the same kind of culture anymore where people are able to take a class during the day, and it's just not that kind of culture anymore. And so we have to learn to adapt to the workforce of today, and so that's what's happening with education, or higher education. I don't know if I think it's a good idea for young people to have that as a primary source of education. However, on a cold day like this, hey, kids, stay home and Zoom with your teacher.
Or make it a catch-up day for work, because I know a lot of teachers do that on Fridays regardless, like catch up what you didn't finish this week. Like, stay at home and catch up on the Google Classroom or wherever you're at.
When we lived outside of North Pole, Alaska,
Oof.
the cutoff when you could keep your kids home from school,
Go ahead.
-40.
Oh, wow.
So it's a case of dressing properly. So
That's a little chilly.
it is a little chilly.
Yeah, that's a little chilly.
When I typed up my notes last night, I thought the odds of a federal government shutdown on the 31st was pretty close to 100%. But President Trump and Senator Schumer and the others got together. It looks like they've worked this out.
And
Senate didn't pass it.
oh no.
Yet, they'll do it this morning, maybe.
News reports this morning it didn't pass. Not going to pass.
And my feeling is, I read your notes, Cliff. They cannot leave out Department of Homeland Security funding. They just cannot, and they cannot cut it. And there's no way the president is going to agree to that. Absolutely no way. They cannot leave out DHS funding. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah. There's a little sub-issue that goes with this, sort of a government 101. The question of whether or not the Republicans will move to abolish the filibuster. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Explain the filibuster to people so that people understand the conversation.
So, in the Senate, someone can stand up and start talking, and they can talk as long as they want.
Right.
And the only way to shut down the debate, as it's called, is for 2/3 of the Senate to vote for what they call cloture. And that means that if the Senate is divided 49-51, the 49 can shut down any bill they want to. If you abolish the filibuster, those 51 can pass anything they want.
And that's dangerous.
And that is dangerous.
That's very dangerous. And I know that President Trump was floating the idea of ending the filibuster, but that is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that gives power, too much power to one group. And I would not be in favor of that.
No.
No, not at all.
The system is set up to force compromise.
Right. Exactly. And I appreciate the art of the deal, as he has famously said, right? I appreciate the art of compromise. If you walk out of the room and no one person is completely happy, then that is a good deal. And that is good compromise. Then that's good government, because that means everybody got some and everybody lost some. And that means then that's good.
That's right. It's the American way. And when
That's
we
right.
don't do that, you end up with civil war.
Right. And Eileen knows that when we go behind closed doors to negotiate a contract with teachers or administrators, not everybody wins. And that means that's a good contract. That's a good contract. Because if I were to walk out like feeling like, oh, I got everything I wanted and I didn't get, no. I had to give something, and the teachers felt like, okay, they lost some stuff too, then that's a good contract. That was effective. So.
But I do have the question in the back of my mind, is Minnesota going to secede from the Union because they won't follow federal law with regard to immigration?
We just lost their governor.
So,
Amy Klobuchar is going to take over, who Cliff and I met up in Cow Hampshire. Want to read these two?
oh, you met her?
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about that after I read this. First text. Coach Belichick treated the media horrible, and now they are giving him the middle finger. Oh, that is a perfect text. You're right. He did treat the media terrible. The next one. I thought the last government shutdown had to do with funding of the Ukrainian people. Now it's Homeland Security and ICE fault. All lies coming from a government who say they are in it for the people. And that's from Jay. Can you tell me how you met Amy Klobuchar?
Cliff would be better.
Okay, how'd you meet Amy Klobuchar?
Well, I had someone I taught with down at National War College who was in the Democratic Party up in New Hampshire, and she invited us to come up to sort of a town hall they were having in Salem, New Hampshire. She's actually been on the show. Her husband was the U.S. ambassador to Saudi Arabia for a couple of years.
That is so cool.
And I tell you, Amy Klobuchar talking to the folks in New Hampshire sounded pretty reasonable.
Okay,
I thought.
okay.
We'll see how she sounds
Out in Minnesota.
in Minnesota.
Minnesota. So,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to the end of Tim Walz's tenure, because he is not doing the people of Minnesota any favors. He is just I'm thanking every day that he is not the Vice President of the United States, because we dodged a bullet.
A heartbeat away.
Oof, 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 oof. We dodged it. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Wow.
So, and then our rep, Lori Trahan,
Yes? Oh, go ahead. I read this. Go ahead.
wants to impeach the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. But if we go after Kristi Noem, why aren't we going after Tim Walz
Right,
and Mayor Jacob Fry?
right.
And, well, the Lieutenant Governor, also up there in Minnesota, who's agitating for trouble.
Right.
Lori Trahan is begging for somebody to run against her.
Absolutely, I
That's
agree
what
with
she's
you.
doing. She's begging. She wants a fight. I want a fight.
Why doesn't Laurie Trahan worry about the people of her district?
Just do your job.
That's what
Laura's
I
an
would,
American.
that's what I would like her to do. I would like her to worry about the fact that our heating bill, thank you, Maura Healey, for stopping 2 pipelines for coming into Massachusetts, are exorbitant. I just read an article about, I forget the term that the article used, but the number of people who are leaving Massachusetts. Now, some of that is you come as a college student and you get the heck out. But some of it is you cannot afford to live here anymore. Or you are sick and tired of living here. So you are packing up your belongings and you're getting out. People are retiring and moving to North Carolina, moving to Florida. But people who are still working here are going boop over the border to Salem, to Pelham, to Nashua, and they're getting out because the governor of New Hampshire is a reasonable human being. And the taxes are a fraction of what we pay here, and nobody is stopping 2 pipelines from coming in, and people's utility bills are also reasonable. It's getting to be very expensive to live here.
Yep.
It's painful, very painful.
It could solve the housing problem if enough people leave.
Right, and we wouldn't have to worry about the Communities Act, where Drake is now being sued because they don't have multifamily housing.
Yep.
I can't see Drake it with all his beautiful farmland erecting tons of multifamily housing. I can't see it.
Yeah. One of the things that I don't understand, and I could be wrong, it could be just bubbling below the surface. Ice is everywhere. How come the ruckus is in Minnesota?
Well-
Is it going to erupt in Maine and Massachusetts?
Yes, it is.
I think it's
The
starting to
governor's
erupt.
starting to get ready for that, right? The governor of Massachusetts is getting ready for it now.
Right, because didn't yesterday, she did something to stop ice from coming to Massachusetts. Am I correct with saying that, John?
That's my takeaway too.
The headline from the Sun, Healy targets ICE immigrant protections with executive order and bill. Policies put in the budget bill.
Now, here's what I have understood from my history. If it's a federal law, a state law cannot supersede a federal law. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Healy is throwing a pebble at, Mount Vesuvius. Right?
Yeah, except for one thing.
What?
Those pebbles roll down the hill and pick up momentum.
Okay.
I don't know. I am hoping that President Trump can work his way around this. But this is how we got into the Civil War. We had the people in the South saying that they could ignore federal law.
Right.
And even after the Civil War, we had them resisting federal law.
Mhm.
That's why we have the Posse Comitatus Act, because in a compromise in like 1880, around there, somebody had to cut a deal because we didn't have a clear winner president of the United States, and the Republicans agreed to pull the federal troops out of the South in exchange for a Republican president.
And we also have the 1964 Civil Rights Act because the South still couldn't understand that black people should have the right to vote
Right.
and not sit in the back of the bus and are able to drink from the water fountain. They still couldn't understand that. So we had to have another law to explain that. So, and you're right. Because, so, we're now creating a divided government. Here's my thought. If you have committed a bad crime and you're not supposed to be here, then you should go. Bottom line.
That would be a good compromise.
If you committed a bad crime and you're not supposed to be here, you should go. Now, here's the other question. If you've not committed a bad crime and you're not supposed to be here, what do we do with those people? Let's say they're working. Let's say they have families. Let's say they pay taxes. What do we do? Do they go too?
My personal view would be we would find a way to normalize them.
Okay,
But
like Reagan did.
the whole, yeah, but the problem is, what do you do if Gretchen Whitmer becomes president of the United States in 2028? Is she going to open the borders again?
Oh, God, I hope not.
We need some sort of immigration reform
Yes,
that sort of locks things in.
right.
It didn't happen under President Reagan, unfortunately.
Right.
Immigrants have been part of the economy forever. When I was young, we had the Bracero program where Mexicans would come in and work, the Braceros, and it seemed to work fine, but
We still have that in California,
yeah.
because those are the people who are picking your oranges and your grapes and your fruits and vegetables. So we still do have that. The issue is, I don't want people in the country who are committing crime or have committed a crime and who aren't supposed to be here. Those are the folks that I want gone first.
It's, you may be too young to remember this,
Oh, thank you, Cliff.
but Bishop Fulton J. Sheen,
I do know who he is.
Uncle Fulty,
I do, I've never heard him called that, but I do remember Bishop Fulton, yes.
whose program, Life is Worth Living, is on EWTN at 6:30 on Tuesdays, I think.
Okay,
And he was a public evangelist, and he's apparently up for sainthood.
oh, wow,
So I thought that was pretty
that's
interesting.
very interesting, okay.
He has a very relaxed presentation style. He's not just streaming words out at you as fast as he can. He'll speak a sentence, he'll pause, he'll let it soak in, and then he'll follow up. A slightly different style.
Nice,
And so anyway, if you want to watch him and his angel at work, it's EWTN. I think it's Tuesdays at 6:30.
okay.
But anyway, by the way, have you made your contribution to the Biden Presidential Library?
No, Cliff, I have not. I've heard that donations are quite hard to come by right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that his son can sell some paintings. Oh, wait a minute. His son was supposed to sell some paintings and give the proceeds to his baby mama for
Child support.
so child support. Thank you. And he hasn't done that.
No.
No.
You can have most American males.
You know,
I'm going to read these texts because I can't get them on the screen for you to read, Regina.
Sure, go ahead.
So, Ms. McDonough, any report of the sidewalks downtown area, someone has been fired by now? Nobody's going to get fired. They're all Golden's relatives. I'm pretty sure there's a pipeline running through Drake it that would make it cheaper. Good point. Lori, the ghost Trahan Casper, spent more time in America. I hope she does. She should vote as an American rather than a Democrat. I voted in an American, I got a Democrat. If you're honest media in this crooked state, then Lori Trahan wouldn't be getting away with her bull feces and dribble. That's from Jay. Back to you, Cliff. Thanks.
Yeah. So, the Mayor Mamdani in New York City is already having an impact. Instacart has abruptly added a new fee. A New York Post analyst of orders prior to Monday found no such fee tacked on yet by Tuesday. A fee of $5.99 was applied to orders ranging from $35 to $184.
And what was the reason for the fee?
Additional fees being imposed by the city government. Now you figure,
Oh, wow.
let's call the fee $6
Okay.
to make the math easy.
All right.
So if you use Instacart once a week, 6 times 52, it's over $300. An additional tax
That's a
for the
lot of
city.
money. So the city is charging Instacart. Is that what?
Well, they're charging other fees and imposing other activities, and Instacart thought it was worth about $6.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Not a good thing.
So Mamdani also said, "Hey, there's no snow day on Monday. You must. We're going to have virtual school." And so he said everybody's got to log on and have school Zoom. But the Chromebooks that students were given they're not able to access Zoom classrooms because there's a filter, and I do know this because the same thing takes place with the Chromebooks that my students have. So some students had computers at home with Microsoft Access that allowed them to get access to the Zoom class, but most students did not have another computer at home. And because that's the way of the world, right? Not everybody.
Regina, does Northern Essex, that's where you teach, is
Yes.
that right? When students enroll now, do they get a Chromebook automatically?
No, the
there?
students in my early college class get a Chromebook. So my students, I have students that I'm teaching with Whittier College right now. So Whittier College students get a Chromebook. So it's early college. So my early college students come to the Northern Essex campus. Now, some of those children may have a computer at home, but not every one of them will. Now, that being
I see what you're
said,
saying.
they could use the computers at the high school to complete assignments, but let's say they're stuck at home, and I said, okay, you have to log on to Zoom to take a class on Monday. Not all of them would be able to do that because the Chromebook is not going to allow them access through Zoom. So I recognize that. But Mamdani didn't realize that, and so more than half of the school children could not connect. And they were left out of being able to participate.
Whittier College?
Whittier Technical High School.
So they're issued a Chromebook from the high school,
Right.
like any pre-K through 12. They all do that now since COVID.
Yes.
But anybody who's just taking a regular college class at Northern Essex has to rely on whatever they had have at home.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, those kids at Whittier, they are incredible. Incredible students. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I got a lot of students who are going to go on to become engineers, just really nursing program, and I got a lot of students, just really incredible students. Great, great, great high school.
I thought maybe you were teaching for that college out in California.
Oh, no. no, Cliff, I'm not. But thank you for suggesting it. No, I'm teaching for Northern Essex. It's early college, and my students come from Whittier Tech to the high school, and I teach my college sociology class.
Good.
And students get credits at the high school level, and they get college credits as well. Amazing program, fabulous. In fact, Middlesex has the same program too. Great program. And because Maura Healy has said college is free, students don't have to pay to take any college classes. So college is free for students at the associate's level.
Well, that's interesting. My grandson has signed up for a course at Gridlow Technical High School after dark
Okay.
as a high school graduate to do some mechanical activity. And he's paying $525.
Where does he live? He doesn't live at Mass, does he?
He lives at my house.
So if he's going to a community college,
No, he's not. He's going to Gridlow Technical High.
okay, then that would be a fee. But if he were going to a community college, it's zero.
You'd think they'd extend that to the kids.
You would think, but unfortunately,
I tell myself, you're in Massachusetts.
yeah.
And it all becomes clear.
Open up your, thank you, Cliff. Open up your wallet. You're in Massachusetts, open up your wallet. Absolutely. You're right.
So, for the last minute we have Iran. We're steaming
Yeah, I got some notes on that.
aircraft carriers. Is the Ayatollah going to fold and go away? Or are we going to get, or is he going to kill a lot more citizens?
I saw a video last week of a truck with soldiers on the truck in Iran, and they had machine guns, and they were just firing into the crowd, killing everybody, randomly killing people. And I thought, human life means nothing to these animals. Means absolutely nothing to these people. I was shocked. I was shocked. And you saw bodies dropping in the street. I was shocked. These people are animals.
Yes.
Just incredible.
Well, Monday maybe we'll have a resolution, but it makes me nervous. We're going to go to break.
Okay?
No, we're not, because the computer's frozen, and they're not gonna touch it, because it's still broadcasting.
Okay.
Oh.
So you just have to, you can say good morning now at 7 o'clock.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Life Show here in Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. We have in studio Regina Faticanti,
Morning.
and we have on the phone, I hope, Eileen Delrossi.
Good morning.
Because I'm going to ask Eileen a question. And Regina is just the oh, I forgot to mention our producer, John McDonough.
We're also live at Dracut, Chelmsford, Tewksbury, and Tingsboro. Lowell LTC's broken, so they had a flood, and they can't survive it, so we'll see what happens.
I saw that on the news, that terrible damage on the little LTC. I also saw, since you're mentioning Tingsboro, a big bust in Tingsboro at a massage parlor. And I'm
What
going
a
to give it.
childish thing.
Pardon me?
Childish.
What's childish?
Chasing a massage parlor. Bob Kraft. So what?
So,
So what? Oh, we got them.
well, here's the thing that was wrong. If you want to work there, knock yourself out. But apparently, some of these women were being trafficked, and they were being forced to work there. That's the wrongdoing. But if for instance, if anybody's ever been to Nevada, to the Bunny Ranch, and you're paying $2,400 to get the same service, knock yourself out. Some of those women are sending themselves to law school or medical school. Go ahead. That's your choice. You want to work in a massage parlor? I don't care what you do. But if you're being trafficked and you're being forced to work there, different story.
Person in the audience is asking, where did Iran get the money to fund these animals? That's from Jay.
So I think that Cliff could probably answer that question. Where did Iran get the money to fund these animals, Cliff?
It arrived on pallets flown in.
From us?
Yes.
Because and that was money that came from Obama, is that correct?
I think so.
Okay, so I remember this. Didn't he say that, I didn't make the deal with them. That deal was made several presidents ago, and I'm just finally paying the debt. Is that my memory correct?
I think so.
Yeah, and then we did fly that money in on pallets. Now, I don't know which president was foolish enough to have made that agreement, but why he would keep the agreement and send the pallets of billions of dollars, I don't know. I would have said, what memo? Show it to me. But he said, okay, I'll give you the money, and he sent the money over. So I guess to the caller, that money is United States dollars that they are using to buy those weapons to kill their own people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and oil they're selling.
And the
That's
oil
helping.
that they're selling. Who are they selling their oil to?
China.
Damn China. Oof.
So, I wanted to talk about education while both Eileen is on the phone and you're here.
Okay.
I mean, because just about every article I see says we're slipping behind.
Okay.
And the head of the American Federation of Teachers, Randy Weingartner, is a clown.
Yes, I agree.
So,
She's not concerned with education. She's concerned with ICE. She's concerned with protesting. Randy, get back to education and spend your money. Spend teachers' dues on education, not on anything else. I believe she's misspending money. What do you think, Eileen?
A little comment from the audience here. It's not coming up on your screen over there, but the audience, our audience can see it. The legalization of marijuana gambling is sex industry next. I'm going to guess it is. That's what
I think you're right, John. I think
they'll just legalize it.
right. Now, I'm okay to legalize what they have in Nevada. You go to the bunny ranch, and the girls line up, and you pick one, and you lay your credit card down, and you get a service. And the doctor comes once a month and tests everybody for HIV, and everybody's got to wear a condom. Hey, that's okay. That's I don't care. But when a woman stands on a street corner and gets paid $20, I'm not okay with that. Because that woman has a drug problem, and that's how she's paying for her drug problem. I'm not okay with that. But you want to have a little place in Tingsboro where women work on their own free will? I could care less. Hey, and good Bob Kraft, I could care less. Those women who were working there, they were working on their own free will, and he was tipping them well. Hey, I could care less, right? But I think that when women are forced, that's a violation of their being, and no, not okay.
not okay.
Not okay. Not okay. Illegal. Not okay.
So education, you can go to public school, you can go to public charter school, you can go to parochial school, a private school, you can do homeschooling, you can do pods. Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
So,
I believe it's 17,000.
When I was on the committee, it was 12, so it's gone up a few bucks.
it hasn't gotten better.
No, it has not.
So, if you decide to homeschool your kids, you're paying taxes for other kids to go to public schools, and you're not being compensated for taking up this public good, right?
Well, what I think should happen is that if a parent is choosing to homeschool their kids, then they should be getting that per student ratio, right? Because why would they be paying that?
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
If you're homeschooling your child, you're taking a burden off of the city.
Mhm.
The city is saving probably not really $17,000, but somewhere up there, 15, 16.
You're also taking a burden off of the classroom,
yeah.
which is huge.
Is the kid getting an education?
If they're being homeschooled, yeah. If they're going to
What makes you
public
say
school,
that?
no. What?
What makes you say that they are getting the education?
My lived experience.
What they're not getting, though,
Well,
is
if
this.
I plug my daughter in front of a TV all day and I'm getting the home school bill, at what point is the rubber going to hit the road that I'm not educating my daughter? I'm just letting her watch TV all day. I'm just taking the money. In Massachusetts, where we build a relationship on trust, blind trust.
Well, we used to use MCAS as a determinant of what children know. We no
I'll
longer
take the
use
MCAS
MCAS.
test. You'll never know.
We no longer use MCAS. So we
When
no
I take
longer.
the MCAS test, I don't let my kid take any test. I take all the tests.
Yeah. So there's no way to know.
So in 2023, the per pupil expenditure is $20,493.
That's a lot of money.
So,
Nobody stays back. That's how
My-
big the education is.
my
Right.
youngest son and his wife are homeschooling 3. They've already homeschooled 1. He got into St. Francis University up there in, Steubenville, Ohio. Picked up a little bit of a scholarship. I don't think that's doing bad.
No, but your son and daughter-in-law are very bright people. Very bright people.
Yeah.
And I can see your daughter-in-law sitting at the kitchen table with the textbook and tests and requiring those children to learn.
The example I like to leave is this. Do you tune up your own car, Cliff?
I've been known to tune up my own car.
Does it operate?
Yeah. On the other hand, the guy who shut down his auto repair shop and opened a Chinese restaurant used to scold me for the way I tuned the carburetors. So, yeah.
And Regina, to get back to your question
and my
about
other example,
overspending.
John, my other
I'm sorry.
example,
Well, only one can talk.
then I'm
sorry.
talking. So,
So
I took my car in to have the
why didn't you fix it yourself?
sliding pillar.
Whoa, you were fixing it yourself a minute ago. Why didn't you fix it yourself?
May I finish my story?
Go ahead.
All right. And when I went to pick it up, he handed me some parts and said, "Oh, you don't need these." So I very carefully drove the car home and put them back in and adjusted the sliding pillars myself. Because the guy was clueless.
Oh my goodness. That's dangerous.
It is. All right, Eileen, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I think the more money the schools have got over time, whether it be via the union, no matter what, we've got, our children are more at a deficit now than ever before. When it was basic, simple, straightforward, where you'd have a quiz every Friday on everything. Now it's complicated, and certain people are getting kickbacks and money for curriculums, and they're not conducive to where our children are at.
So, who is primarily responsible for the education of children?
Parents.
Yep.
Virginia,
All right.
you want to read this
I'm going
one?
to read this text. Accountability. Should schools number one priority? Instead, they coddle and treat students as victims.
Right. I agree. They need a little tough love,
Yeah, I agree.
but everyone's afraid to do that today.
I agree with that too.
I remember the fear that we had of the principal at the Varnum School, Mrs. Smith. Like, she was a good principal, but she scared people.
And
She
that's
scared the
okay.
kids.
That's okay. A little bit of fear is not bad, because a little bit of fear makes you say, all right, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to work a little harder. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all.
Right? And I think it was Charlie Kirk who was saying that. I saw him on a podcast, and he was asking somebody, did you ever do something as a child or preteen or whatever, and you were afraid when you got home because of your parents' wrath?
Yes.
And the guy was like, yes, of course. And he said, but that's something that's actually biblical. Like, that's in the Bible. Like, you should have fear. But today we've wiped that out completely and want to be warm and fuzzy. And you want to be considered a cat? Oh, let me get you an IEP with, like a kitty litter box, and here's some cat food.
I was terrified of my parents, and I look back now, and I'm glad. That was a good thing, because it kept me on the straight and narrow. It didn't do anything stupid. This texter said, we also feared our parents. They were not our friends, and that's from Jay. Jay, I could not agree with you more. We feared them. I feared disappointing them, too. I never wanted to disappoint my parents. And they were not my friends. Oh, my goodness, they were not my friends. I never ever thought that they should be my friends. No, they should be my parents.
Right. And the other thing is, you always wanted to help your parents and make their life easier. Being 1 out of 4, like, I would do whatever it took to make my mom, to make sure, my mom wasn't stressed, or take a little off of her. Today, that doesn't exist.
No.
When I was in elementary school, I don't think we had a principal. I never met a principal.
Because you never got in trouble.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah,
That's
I got
right.
in trouble.
Then where did they take you? Outside and whoop you?
They kept me after school.
Who's
And I
the
had
they?
to stand outside the girls' bathroom while the teacher
Did
went
the
in.
teacher ever run outside the Did the teacher ever step out of the classroom and speak to somebody?
No,
Probably you didn't have a principal.
I don't think we had a principal. I'm sure someone was in charge somewhere.
So my mother went to St. Stanislaus, and outside they had a statue of Mary, and they had a kneeler. And if you misbehaved, you had to go out there and kneel. And that was because everybody walking or driving by could see you and call your parent to tell them, Regina is outside on the kneeler, because my mother got in trouble a lot. And my grandmother would get her purse, and she would come down to see what was going on. Oh, yeah, you never wanted to be in that position. Now, by the time I went to school there, the kneeler was gone, because I think they realized that probably was not a good thing. But there was still corporal punishment. I remember being spanked. I got the ruler over my knuckles. Absolutely. I can tell you horror stories of what they did to some of the children that I went to school with.
That was the way back then.
It was the way back then. It was accepted, and if you went home and told your parents, you probably get another beating from your parents because you got a beating because you disobeyed something in school. And I'm not saying that school should beat children. Absolutely not. Because I don't think that should happen. But I think schools should be able to discipline children. And I think that, and the problem, though, is now parents don't want to some parents are not supportive of teachers. And they're not supportive of little Johnny or little Julie having done something wrong, and so now need to be responsible for their actions.
So the last school I worked at, administration couldn't even hold a student for detention. They had to make sure that a teacher, like if I wanted to keep a student after school for detention to make up work for goofing off in class, I had to arrange it with the parent that it worked for their schedule, and then I had to arrange my schedule because that was essentially volunteer, and a shore administration knew, and so forth. So now it's even a process to give a kid a consequence, but I found a few were definitely worth my time and the parents' time to, get a little backup. But then the parents, they're always late to pick them up because now they're looking at you like a source of babysitting.
Oh.
So it's so crazy.
So, of all my teachers in elementary school, I only remember one name, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith got me my first airplane ride with her son when he was in visiting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Very cool. Oh, wow.
And so I
Is
sort of
that what
followed
started
her.
your love for flying?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I sort of followed him. He was in the Air Force. I went in the Air Force. So yeah, an early important impression. Otherwise, those first 7 grades were a waste. Anyway,
Well-
should we be encouraging people to send kids to parochial schools, to put them in pods, to do homeschooling by giving money to the parents as compensation?
Not a bad idea. Or giving parents their own tax dollars back.
Yeah.
Returning their own money to them. Yeah. Now, Cliff, the other thing that you had, the Taliban has made some new rules. And one of the rules is no education of women whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not even grade school. And they've created a caste society. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Plus slaves.
And they created a caste of slaves. But so now when we left Afghanistan, Taliban came in, took back control, and that was a failed thing that we did. And the Taliban has now come back in and no education of women whatsoever. That country is in the Dark Ages.
It is.
Dark Ages.
And nobody seems to be upset. We're moving into Black History Month on Sunday.
Yes, February, yep.
Are we going to be upset about slavery in Afghanistan and other parts of the Middle East?
I don't think we're even going to talk about it. Because to bring up the Taliban is a Democrat's nightmare because of the way Biden pulled out of there. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to talk about it. So no, Cliff, we're not going to have that discussion. That the Taliban just created a caste of slaves. Created yep, we're going to bring slaves back. Absolutely, we're going to bring slaves back. No, they're not going to talk about it. That's a sore spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw it on your notes, I thought, good thing to bring up.
Not good. There's a little outrage, but I don't see a lot of outrage.
I don't see a lot of outrage at all, especially about the issue of why aren't the Democrats talking about the fact that the Taliban has just outlawed education for women? I'm shocked. But nope, not a peep from any of the people who are protesting in Minnesota. No, not a peep from those people. Ilhan Omar, why aren't you saying something about it? Not a peep. Shame on her. Shame on her and her colleagues. that have not come together and said, hey, let's talk about the Taliban outlawing education for women. Nope.
Yeah. What do you think, Eileen? Should women get an education?
Yes, I think they're just fearful. Like John always says, women are superior thinkers to men, and they don't want that.
Yeah. Well, that's a big deal. All right.
I just want to bring your attention to this matter over the weekend. That ICE out of Massachusetts, there's going to be a rally
Oh,
tonight at Lowell City Hall. But I want to draw your attention to the right-hand side there. The comments from people. And there's 50 comments of like craziness on the right-hand side. And how don't do this, why don't your people have a job? Lowell residents will not participate in any of this. We're smart to feed into this nonsense. And
I
it just
saw
goes-
that Tom Duggan
Yeah,
is the first person to say something.
well, that says most relevant. I could just
Okay.
click here and say all comments. And he's still number one.
Okay.
And you can read the comments on the side there if you want to, but I didn't see any positiveness. Oh, Mark Shelburne's going to bring them coffee. It says when, Mark.
Okay. So it's a rally for ICE out of Massachusetts. And it's called Indivisible
Yeah, so
Lowell.
if you're out in your car around 6 o'clock tonight, take a ride by City Hall and see 15 people out there freezing their toes off. Back
Okay.
over to you guys.
Thank you.
Indivisible except division between Massachusetts and the United States.
Right. Were we supposed to have a guest at 7?
No.
No? Okay.
So, Maura Healey is targeting ICE immigration protection with executive order and bill. I don't think this is going in the right direction.
I agree.
She's going to, she'll be encouraging people to get in the way of ICE, and that'll lead to unrest, and someone will get shot, and they'll blame ICE.
Right.
When the real blame goes to Maura Healey.
Right. For inciting all these people. Maura Healey is now inciting people, and she needs to take some responsibility for that. Now, we know that ICE is building up in Burlington. We know that they're training people there. We know that they've been delivered some utility vehicles out to the area. I wouldn't doubt that they're probably also out at maybe Fort Devens or the Bedford Air Force Base. But for her to now incite people she is doing exactly what that knucklehead Tim Walz did in Minnesota. And it didn't work well for him, because he led the way to get 2 people killed in Minnesota. This guy, Alex Peretti, was well known to the feds. There's video of him 2 weeks before he was shot, getting into an altercation. Let me read these two text messages. Not one city council stood up for the American citizens being killed by illegal aliens. Shame on all the councilors. And that's from Jay. Where is the media on that story, the Taliban? I thought slavery was bad. Hey, thank you, Texter. I thought slavery was bad too. I would agree. Thank you.
Yep. You were talking about Alex Peretti out there in Minneapolis kicked the tail light out of a SUV that
Right.
belonged to the
Probably a rental
ICE.
company.
The what?
Probably a rental company.
Okay. It doesn't make it any brighter.
No, but I don't think it was a federal car, probably a rental car.
Being operated by feds.
I'd never do it.
Don't mean. And
Just kick a police cruiser at Lowell, see what happens.
thank you,
Go ahead.
thank you.
What is police cruiser? Just kick the police cruiser and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Kick a fire truck, see what happens.
Down on the ground, as you should be,
Yep.
as you should be.
We don't do that here. But out in Minneapolis, I guess it's fair play.
So, I was listening to another news broadcast, and the individual had been talking about that they had some taillight, and they were making, they were hammering it, and it was very difficult to do that. And Alex Preddy hit that taillight with such force when he kicked it, he cracked it and broke it. That's pretty darn. He hit that with a lot of strength.
Yeah.
A lot of strength. Excuse me. And so, it showed him spitting on officers, on ICE officers. So he was very well known to them, and his behavior was reprehensible. Spitting is an assault and a battery. It's a battery. A battery, when I teach criminal justice, I tell my students, it's a bruise. It's a touching, an unpermitted touch. Spit is an unpermitted touch. I don't know. And everybody was saying he was a wonderful nurse. He was a violent human being, which the video showed.
And he didn't learn the lesson that I learned from listening to music. Don't take your guns to town.
Thank you. Don't, right. And he had a gun, and he had a couple of extra
Shouldn't have
magazines.
You can
Pardon me,
say
John?
everything you want, shouldn't have happened.
Shouldn't have happened. No, it shouldn't have happened.
What shouldn't have happened?
That somebody lost their life over it.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
but here's the thing. I would think after the first incident, people would be more conscious of the fact that, hey, one person's already lost their life. Let's not invoke another or instigate another incident.
That's
But
true.
not happening.
And speaking of that,
Well,
I'm
just
gonna
let me
say
say
goodbye
this,
to you.
okay?
Yes, you are.
My mother taught me when you see something bad happening, what you want to do is don't go near that. When you see trouble, go the other way. I don't understand why in Minneapolis you see trouble, you run towards it. I
Right.
don't understand why they're doing that in Minneapolis, but
So
they are.
before I take my leave, because it's almost 7:30, do you think that some of these people are being paid?
Oh, yeah, they're on payroll.
Okay.
They don't take, see, lying's legal. So now we can lie all we want, and it's okay. Because even when you call a government, so there's water flowing down the street. You call it in, and the guy says, well, I got the news outlet on the phone. What do you want me to tell them? Even our own government makes up stories. They don't tell the truth. They want to know, okay, what fairy tale do you want us to tell? Not okay. That's what we live with.
All right, you two, have a wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful day. To everybody out there, good to see you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Take
Have a
care,
good one,
Eileen.
Regina.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got remote start?
Yes, I do.
Good. Get it cooking, kid. Because looking outside, it's still, to get up on the screen, there it is. Flag still flapping in the wind. And it's probably like 0 out there. Cold day. Back to you, Cliff.
yeah. So, I'm not happy with the governor trying to set up these artificial confrontations between local police, local government, and the federal government. I thought the people voted last year, and they voted for this deportation. Why are we relitigating the 2024 election? That's my question. So Eileen, you got any thoughts on that?
Can you repeat that actually, Cliff?
Yeah. I thought we voted for deportation back in 2024 in the federal presidential election. Why are we relitigating that?
Oh, because they don't like the way that it's being done.
Regina,
People don't-
before you leave, this is our 250th anniversary. What is your favorite patriotic song?
God bless America.
Exactly. God bless America.
America. Absolutely.
Kate Smith.
That's right. God bless America.
All right.
Take care, you two. Take care, you two.
Bye, Regina.
Bye.
John, you have a favorite patriotic
I'm
song?
with Regina. God
Eileen?
bless America.
Eileen?
Yes, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Okay, there's a dandy one. So, that's good.
Look, I
Anything?
got some text here.
What's
I'm gonna
yours,
read.
Cliff? What's yours favorite?
God bless America.
Let's see if we can get these texts up on screen. Computer's a little pokey today. And it says, you are correct, Mr. McDonough. The invasion of millions of illegal aliens should never have happened. That's from Bob. And continuing, it wasn't good when Kyle Rillhouse did the same thing. Great job, Regina. Enjoyed your input. And last one, no one cared when President Obama did the exact same thing because the voting base is being destroyed. It's now in crisis. Phony politicians. Back over to Cliff.
Okay. So, school committee. Anything happen on the school committee this week?
We had a special meeting for the lottery system that members needed some more clarification on, and it seemed to do good. It was a very quick meeting, but we have to have our motions in by 9 a.m. this morning for our meeting next Wednesday, February 4th.
Oh. So, how are you doing on black ice?
Well, much better, considering there's so much snow out. It's funny, the other day I went out shoveling, and my dog wrapped his leash around mine, but the snow piles were so high, it actually felt good to fall into it. I was like, I like this.
And how's your car transmission doing?
It's surviving. It's doing good. We've put that Luke's stuff in it, and when it starts to pull, we just add a little more. So it's keeping me alive for in-city driving.
Yeah.
Two comments
I'm
from the
grateful.
same person in the audience. We also voted for an audit that probably won't happen. And it seems that his favorite song is American the Beautiful. Back to you, Cliff.
That's a good song. So affordability is a hot topic right now. And do blue states have more problems than red states?
It appears so.
You think this is going to be a problem for Trump in November, in the midterms?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it could be a problem for Trump. And if he loses the House, he'll be impeached one more time.
He's not going to lose the House. America's awake now. They don't watch the news anymore.
And Kristi Noem will be impeached too. So I'm a little concerned, yeah. And I'm paying what, $3.09 for gas, and it's being pumped for me, so I expect to pay a little extra. Out in California, they're paying what, $8 a gallon? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And so, there's an article in the Lowell Sun from Melanie Gilbert. Lowell and state leaders talk about fair housing. Event part of a statewide tour to allocate funding under the Affordable Homes Act. 2 hour with presentations, and then there was a breakout into 3 groups, and they addressed some questions and came back and recapitulated. If you look in the Lowell Sun, you can see my picture on the right-hand margin of the picture. I went to the sucker. Mostly it was about coordination and people getting passed around in the bureaucracy, but my sense going in and my sense coming out is that one of the problems is we don't have enough housing, that we need to build more houses so that the pressure goes down. It'll cost me money as a homeowner if they build more houses because the value of my house will go down. But I think that this needs to be done. Do you own your house, Eileen?
I do not own my house. My mother owns my house.
Ah.
But so it is owned. So what is that? What were we talking about?
Affordable housing.
Oh yeah. I don't know where that exists. It seems a lot of red tape to even get that.
Yeah. Well, that was a point made by a couple of people. They had a young lady, 32-year-old Destiny Maxim, who's disabled, uses a wheelchair. She has an electric wheelchair. She had to live in a nursing home for 5 years because there was no accessible housing options available for her. That's not a good situation, I don't think.
Nope.
We, in our breakout group, we had a woman with several children who said that the system is so complicated that it's tough for her to stay in housing. Well, this is not a good situation. So she said her reasonable accommodations were not about preference or special request, but about equity and access. So there was a listening session, article today in the Lowell Sun, but we have some difficulties, and I'm not sure we're heading in the right direction. I'm for building a lot of cheap houses.
How do you build a cheap house, Cliff?
What?
How do you build a cheap house? You can't.
You do not put in any frills. No chair rails, no fireplaces, no back porch, no front porch. Paint all the rooms the same color.
Just a dungeon?
Not a dungeon, but paint all the rooms the same color.
Cliff, when you're trying to make the people who can't be made happy, it's an impossible climb. These people cannot be made happy.
And which people are that?
People looking for free housing.
Well, I'm not for free housing. I'm for making housing affordable.
You don't expect me to pay for it, do you? No porch? No fireplace? I ain't paying for this.
No.
Public housing, it's impossible. They don't enforce the rules. Why can't my boyfriend come in with his 2 kids and visit forever?
I'm not talking
That's what's going to happen.
public housing. I'm saying private housing.
Why should I pay for that? It's got no porch. No fireplace.
You don't think that there are families living in apartments down in Boston that would like to have their own simple house that
To
they could?
quote my late brother Joe, people in hell want ice water.
Yeah.
Ain't coming. Why don't we give them a new car? Let's give them all a new BMW. Oh, not big enough? Oh, let's give them a Tahoe. Yeah, let's give them all a new Tahoe.
Where are they going to park them?
That's their problem. How they going to pay the electricity bill? That's their problem, isn't it?
Yes.
How they going to pay to heat the place? That's their problem. Make them buy the place.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of giving people who don't appreciate anything stuff.
Well, the thing is, the state's trying to fix it bureaucratically rather than economically. So the AG has sued 9 towns for noncompliance with housing law. Drake, Tewksbury, Wilmington, and 6 others. And I think some of the state laws are a little wacko. I mean, you've got this new apartment complex going up right around the corner from you with no parking. Is that
Thanks, Tom Golden. That's Tommy Golden. This comment from Jay. I've been paying for my own house for 30 years. You bet I'm going to get as much as I can for it. The public didn't care about me when I purchased it. Good point, Jay.
Yeah, everyone should get as much as they can when they sell their
But what
house.
about the cheap house?
What about it?
Why can't you just sell your house for cheap for the poor people?
Why would you do that?
Same reason I wouldn't do it for the government. I don't think the government should do it either. We have public housing that's abused up to the hilt. We have Section 8 houses that are abused up to the hilt. And you want more.
No, I want to get people out of that housing and into their own house that they're invested in. Homeownership is magic.
To some. I went to Poland where people were given their houses. And I sat at a diner with a bunch of Polish people who spoke English, bitching and moaning that the government gave me this piece of crap house. Needs new windows. I am not cutting that grass. The place is a dump. I'm not fixing it. That's the attitude of some of the Polish people that were given their homes.
Did they own the house?
It was a communist country. They owned nothing. And they were given their house. They were living in.
Yeah. If you actually own the house, for instance, homeowners vote more than non-homeowners because they're invested a little more. Homeownership is important.
To the right person, yes. And to the you give somebody something they don't want, what do they do with it?
Who doesn't want a home?
Some of the people I talked to in Poland resented the fact that they were given a home.
Okay.
I didn't collect any names, but they do exist.
Well, how's this going to work out? AG sues 9 towns for non-compliance with housing law.
Sue them for what?
Non-compliance.
And what are they going to make them do?
comply with the housing law.
And 7 years from now, we'll have an answer. The speed of the courts.
Yeah. The name, okay, it's Drake, East Bridgewater, Halifax, Holden, Marblehead, Middleton, Tewksbury, Wilmington, and Winthrop.
Tewksbury and Drake both watched this morning, and they're not shaking in their boots.
So, towns are required to create a new zoning overlay for multifamily housing as a way to address the housing crisis. And so, we have 165 are in compliance and 177 total.
Comment from the audience. What has to change is the thinking of kids. The average home buyer is around 44 years old. Kids don't want to sacrifice their lifestyle to get a house. Great show today. Well, I'll put you in charge on Judgment Day. Thank you.
So what's going to happen? Is the AG going to take over the cities?
Nothing. It's all talk and no action. Where's the audit?
She doesn't care about the audit. The Attorney General, Andrea Campbell.
Nice gal. She's blowing smoke.
Yeah. I don't know. So Eileen,
What do you think's going to happen, Cliff?
Yes, Cliff.
I think they're going to replace mayors and put state-appointed officials in there.
Well, Drake doesn't have a mayor, and neither does Tewksbury.
They have a manager.
So they're going to replace the manager with a bureaucrat.
A different bureaucrat.
That's not going to fly too well with the people in Tewksbury or Drake.
Oh, I don't think so, no. So Eileen, what do you have in mind?
Run out of Massachusetts. I think no matter what, it's going to take a long time to get fixed. And I just feel like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the hardworking get more hardworking. And then the system's used, and it's just, unless you want to be completely dependent on the government or you're well off, I don't think Lowell is right Massachusetts in general is right for somebody up and coming, because it's almost impossible to get a home that is affordable. And whatever that affordable housing thing, there's so much red tape around it that it's ridiculous. And then it's like everybody who's on Section 8 has learned it to be generational. And unless you're making 6 or 7 figures in the high numbers, it's almost impossible today. So for right now, I don't think there is an answer.
Cliff, did you re-aim that microphone or shut it off or something? I can't hear her anymore.
Okay. So,
Am I good?
You're good now.
all right, let's read this and then I have an announcement.
Oh.
I got another one coming up too. So, is there a housing? I'll bet there's no housing crisis in Arlington where the governor lives. Good point. Great show today. BRD, Big Red Dog, bring his A game as usual. He should be inducted into the City Life Hall of Fame. before Bella Chicken gets in. That's from Bart.
Thank
Back
you,
to you,
Bart.
Cliff.
So, we have an election on Tuesday. It's a primary election. The Democrat is in the race for the election in March to give us a new state senator. The Democrats are Rodney Elliott and Vanna Howard. So, as a Democrat, you can go in and pick one of those two, your favorite. On the Republican side, there's a write-in candidate. It's Sam Mees. And if you go and write in Sam Mees' name, that'll put him on the ballot in March. So there's a contest between replacing Senator Kennedy with another Democrat adding to their big majority, or you put a Republican in there who might try and stir up the legislature a little bit. Now, Sam Mees, I'm going to spell his name.
Now, a week from today, while Cliff's looking up his name, Joe Espinola's having a party. He's running for state senate as an independent. It's going to be at Lindsay's next Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. That's for Joe Espinola. Back to Cliff. Thanks, Cliff.
All right, Sam Mees is M-E-A-S. Sam, of course, is S-A-M. Sam Mees is soliciting your write-in vote. And then the gentleman that John just mentioned is probably
Joe Espinola.
Joe Espinola, looking for the odd signature to make sure he goes on the ballot in March. Will this election make a difference? If we elect a Democrat, probably no. If we elect a Republican or an independent, maybe a little bit. Signs are that there are people unhappy with the legislature. The auditor is making a lot of waves over the fact that we, the voters, voted a ballot measure to have the auditor audit the Senate. But the governor and the attorney general are not doing anything to support her. I would think that we would want to do something to support her because that's what we asked for.
Cliff, I think more importantly, what is it going to take to push excellence out the door when it comes to government? We have the state police that sleep in their cruisers, don't give any speeding tickets. We have the MBTA that just can't seem to run the trains and doesn't communicate with their passengers as to what the problem is with the train on that particular day. We have the courts that take years to process a case. What's it going to take to push our government to push excellence out the door in their departments?
Leadership.
Oh, wow, that's a wonderful wish term. Leadership. So we don't have that now?
I don't think so. Don't you engage in leadership with your organization?
They know, they push excellence out the door. They don't have to tell them. The unions have to be talked to and said, look, your members are not pushing excellence out the door. What are you going to do to fix this? Why are they promoting children that don't make the grade? Why do they make firemen drive fire trucks with the wheels falling off?
John, as cranky as you sometimes appear, you are also a people person and you provide leadership. If you were a total jerk, your people would not be as good as they are now.
I wouldn't have them. They wouldn't work for me.
If you were a total jerk?
Correct.
Who would work for you?
I'd have a tough time getting work because good help is hard to find. And we have good help. And I learned very early on from my grandfather, you don't beat the horses when they're running as fast as they can.
Yeah.
So on a busy day, just put up and shut up. Let them do the best they can.
So I don't think we are doing the best we can for the workers. Some people want those things to happen. Like our current mayor, Eric Gitcher, in the past has been an advocate for education of the workforce. I think that's a big motivating factor, that you treat the workforce like you respect them and you prepare them for the next job.
So Cliff, we're coming up, 2 minutes left. Got any weekend plans?
My wife's lost a little bit of weight. I need to get her one of her rings resized so it doesn't keep
That's
falling
because
off.
Gary's is closed. It won't open until March.
Yeah. Tough.
Eileen, what are you doing the weekend?
Anthony's birthday, 13th birthday.
Wow. Where are you going to celebrate that?
Well, he's going to celebrate at his dad's, but I'm just going to be like kind of making sure everyone's all set because we're bringing some of his friends from Newton, the Wellesley area. So the house I showed you for Halloween, thank God that Anthony's dad lives in Belvedere, so we're only going to Belvedere, and so they'll only be able to see the nice section of Lowell.
Well, congratulations, Anthony. Welcome to being a teenager.
And
Time
all
to
the
shut, Cliff.
emotions.
Well, isn't Christian Hill a pretty nice section of Lowell?
Yeah, I do believe it is, Cliff, but you'd still have to drive through downtown and all that area. In this case, I can get off 495 by Market Basket, right? Bring them right over to Wentworth Ave.
Okay, you're right. That is a lot easier.
Say goodbye.
So long, everybody. Have a good weekend. See you Monday.
Bye, everybody.
Did you get your keys yet?